television show invites you to speak live with Piscataway's Mayor Brian Waller and his guests on the first Monday of each month. To speak with the mayor, call 562-2305. Mayor Waller is ready to take your calls.
Good evening and welcome to Eye on Piscataway. This is Monday, February 4th, 2002, and we are here on the air live. If you would like to speak with me or my guests, please call us at any time during this hour-long program at 732-562-2305. My guests this evening include our newest councilman, Steve Kahn, and the Township Recreation Director, Kevin Donovan. Councilman Steve Kahn is a busy attorney working primarily with civil litigation, employment law, civil rights litigation, and land use and planning. He is a civil trial attorney who is certified by the New Jersey Supreme Court. Steve also chairs the Council Personnel Committee and also serves on the Finance Committee. He and his wife are the proud parents of two little girls, Jennifer and Samantha, and a son, Matt. Welcome, Steve.
Thank you.
And which I might add, he's also a former member of the Captain in the Marine Corps.
That's right, Mayor.
That's it, good. Township Recreation Director Kevin Donovan started his lifelong dedication to the township recreation programs when he was a very young man in 1964. He was hired as a summer playground counselor, and then he took a slight detour lasting about 25 years while he taught history and social studies at neighboring Middlesex High School. After retiring from teaching, we were very fortunate here in the township to be able to hire him back again, and in 1996, he was appointed Recreation Director. Kevin has also received certification as a playground safety inspector, and Kevin and his wife are the parents of a son in college at Seton Hall and a son down at Piscataway High School. Welcome, Kevin.
Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you. Our discussion this evening will focus on the possibility of Piscataway having its own YMCA. Both Steve and Kevin are members of an ad hoc committee looking into this possibility. So with that, the intros being out of the way now, maybe you might, Steve, take it away, explain how the ad hoc committee was formed and what has transpired since then.
Sure. Thank you, Mayor. First, I'd like to thank you for giving Kevin and I the opportunity to come on your show. Basically, what we've been doing is the council had some discussions along with the mayor's office about the possibility of having a recreation center or enhancing our recreational opportunities. And we looked to see what some other communities did, and they partnered up with private industry, primarily the YMCA and some of the corporations in their communities, to build a center like we're looking into. So we formed a committee. It's an interesting committee. I'm not going to name everybody that's on it because it'll take up the whole show, but we've got a variety of folks from different areas of the community, from the Board of Education, seniors. We have folks involved in the youth and students. Councilman, I should mention, Councilman Mark Levitt is on the committee as well. We have a freeholder representative, and we've been exploring trying to build a community center YMCA that's a public-private partnership, much like they just did in Woodbridge Township, where they built a tremendous facility funded entirely in Woodbridge Township with private money. And so this committee, along with the tremendous help from the Recreation Department, has explored this. We've visited YMCAs, and we've met with the National YMCA, and you, for the most part, Mayor, have researched into getting us some private funding, and we're well on the way, which is, I guess, the reason we wanted to come here tonight, to see if we can discuss a little bit more with the community, to let them know what we want to do. And we feel that this is a great opportunity for our town to have a first-class recreation facility that would include a pool or a gym, child care, a variety of things that the whole community could benefit from.
Director Donovan, maybe it's not just about having a pool there, but maybe you might want to explain some of the components on the reason why we're looking into this venture, given the fact of the condition of our pool.
I see the YMCA, Mayor, as more of a community center that will offer a wealth of opportunities for not only our residents, but people who work in Piscataway, come here to work every day, and people of all different age groups. As Councilman Khan indicated, we have a representative from the senior citizen group in the community. They will have access to the building. We're hoping to have in our facility an indoor and an outdoor pool. The indoor pool could be used by seniors in the community, for example, for exercise, hydrotherapy, or just general good health and swimming laps or whatever. We'd also like to see a technology center or some type of computer lab that residents could use. In addition to that, a multi-purpose gym/auditorium kind of a room, a daycare facility perhaps, even locker room spaces where people could change and shower, exercise rooms with, state-of-the-art exercise equipment for adults, and an opportunity to open this facility up to the community as a place they can go and meet and recreate. And one of the things that Steve and I enjoyed when we visited the Hillsborough YMCA, we were there on a Saturday, and it was amazing the number of people that were coming in and out of there. The activity was enormous. But what impressed me the most was the diversity of the age groups that were coming in. Before
we get into the Hillsborough model, maybe we should go to the videotape. We do have about approximately a 7-minute video that is a tape given out by the National Y. Steve, you might want to explain something.
Just to explain, one of the first things we did after we had some discussions is that we contacted the National YMCA, and they were good enough to send a representative, and she brought us a videotape. And the videotape is essentially, they call it a fly-through. It's computer-driven. It's not an actual YMCA, but it's the ideal YMCA. It shows everything you could have in this YMCA community center. We have a copy of that tape, and it'll show, I think, the folks at home an idea of what we're talking about. And it really does encompass exactly what Kevin has said, that this is a facility that the seniors could use, students could use, the corporate community could use. And I know we have some stuff from Hillsborough we're going to show later, but that's what we saw when we visited the Y. So this videotape is an excellent example of an ideal facility, and it shows you how it works with the community. So it's a great tape.
So bear with that. If our viewership, remember the number is 732-562-2305. My guests this evening are Councilman Khan and Director Kevin Donovan of our Recreation Department. Now, at this time, we're going to show about approximately a 7-minute video of the YMCA thing. So just be prepared, stay tuned, and the staff will chime it up there, so to speak.
From coast to coast, from big cities to rural towns, 2,300 YMCAs are at the heart of community life. No YMCA looks exactly like any other. YMCAs reflect their communities. Local volunteers build YMCAs, and local volunteers run YMCAs. YMCAs exist on the strength of more than 500,000 volunteers nationwide. While every YMCA is unique, one motto unites all YMCAs. We build strong kids, strong families, strong communities. Welcome to the YMCA. Nearly 17 million members walk through our doors every year. Nearly 9 million of those are under 18. YMCAs bring together people of all ages, all incomes, all faiths and backgrounds. Whether a YMCA offers childcare, computer classes, sports leagues, day camps, or job training, every program is built on the YMCA mission to build healthy spirit, mind, and body for all. With its doors wide open, the Y is a place where the whole community gathers, meeting all the needs of the community with a unique mix of programs and services. This multi-purpose room may host an English as a second language class. The mayor might hold a town meeting here. After-school kids could use this room to map out their next community service project with the Y Earth Service Corps. A Rotary Club might hold a meeting here. The YMCA can host a volunteer appreciation night or kick off their next capital campaign. YMCAs are for people of all ages. In the daytime, seniors gather in this game room to socialize or to enhance their computer skills. After school, the room provides a safe place for teenagers to go, a place where they're surrounded by caring adults. Nationwide, YMCAs serve 1 in every 10 teens. Our goal is to serve 1 in every 5. Imagine this pool filled with the voices and laughter of Y members. Kids splash under the watchful eye of YMCA instructors as they take their first strokes. But teaching swimming is just one part of a well-rounded aquatics program. In Y Aquatics, children learn to be safe around the water and feel the sense of accomplishment that comes with learning something new. Shrieks of laughter fill this family fun pool. Kids slide, splash, and play on kickboards. Tonight is prime time, family time. YMCAs nationwide sponsor special family activities, giving families a fun and affordable way to spend time together. Did you know that YMCAs are collectively the largest provider of childcare in the country? YMCAs give families an affordable, high-quality choice for childcare. In fact, approximately half of the children in YMCA childcare programs come from households with annual incomes of less than $25,000. YMCA childcare centers pride themselves on their safe environments and age-appropriate activities. They also take pride in building strong relationships between students, families, and teachers. Here in this wellness center, adults renew their spirits, minds, and bodies. Side by side, people from every segment of the community are improving their health and well-being. To make sure the Y is affordable for the entire community, YMCA's last year raised almost $600 million for scholarships, subsidies, and other community services. Some come to the YMCA under doctor's orders, using the YMCA to help with physical therapy. Aquatic therapy allows people with disabilities and those with limited mobility to move freely, building strength and confidence in the water. YMCAs are committed to being accessible and comfortable for everyone in the community. Locker rooms like this, which provide extra space and privacy, are ideal for families with young children and for people with special needs. Promoting health and well-being has been part of the YMCA mission for more than a century. The YMCA is a place to grow physically and spiritually. It's a place to connect with others and to build community. It's also a place where YMCA members can relieve the stress and pressure of busy lives. Climbing walls are great motivators for young people, building confidence and teamwork. Character development is a part of every YMCA youth program, from childcare to youth sports. All YMCA youth programs incorporate the values of caring, honesty, respect, and responsibility. Gyms aren't just for basketball anymore. Job fairs, teen dances, family night spaghetti dinners might all take place in this YMCA gym. When the school bell rings, this gym could be packed with kids blowing off steam before settling down for homework help. Kids don't have to spend the afternoon alone in an empty house or on the streets when there's a YMCA in their community. YMCAs nationwide partner with neighborhood organizations like churches, hospitals, retirement homes, police departments, and local government social service agencies. 400 YMCAs nationwide work with juvenile courts. 300 work with public housing developments, and thousands of public schools work hand in hand with YMCAs. The doors to the YMCA stay open late into the evening in order to accommodate schedules of every variety. Morning or night, YMCAs provide families with a safe environment. As YMCAs celebrate their 150th anniversary, they can take pride in a rich past and look forward to the YMCA of the future, a YMCA that will continue to build strong kids, strong families, and strong communities for generations to come.
Well, welcome back to Ion Piscataway. Now that you've just concluded your virtual reality tour of futuristic YMCA, I want to remind the viewers in our viewership area, the number 732-562-2305. If you'd like to speak to my two guests, Councilman Steve Kahn and Recreation Director Kevin Donovan, we're discussing about the possibility of having a YMCA come to Piscataway. So, Steve, did you want to mention a couple other things about the team?
Every time I've seen the video a few times, every time I watch it, I think, boy, wouldn't that be great in our community? And that's obviously the ideal, everything you could imagine YMCA. But we can really build, and we've been looking at this for about 6 months or so. We really believe that we can build a community center YMCA project similar to this. And I think it's important that we explain to folks what we're talking about doing is a public-private partnership. In other words, we're talking about raising funds within the community, corporate funds, and the objective of this is not for the town to pay for it. In other words, for tax dollars to pay for it. We're trying to do a partnership with private industry so we can bring something like this to the town without it costing the taxpayers a tremendous amount of money. And this is something that we looked at. Hillsborough did something similar to this. Woodbridge Township did something similar to this. And we think we've got a tremendous amount of support in our community, and we think we can probably do the same thing. And again, I can't imagine anybody at home is thinking, boy, wouldn't that be great to have that in our town.
Kevin, did you want to have something to add in there?
I would add that Steve touched on earlier our committee, our ad hoc committee. It's really a great cross-section of people, talented people from the community, representatives of the swimming community, the soccer club, the Turn On Youth Coalition, the Recreation Advisory Commission, the senior citizens, as we said, a good cross-section of men and women reflecting the diversity of the community. And I think they've done a good job so far, the committee as a whole, in doing a lot of research, a lot of the grunt work. And the next step, I think, is for us to formally make a recommendation to the mayor and to the council, and hopefully they'll take a liking to what we're going to recommend, and then perhaps the council can appoint a formal YMCA committee that will then really look into the hard issues of fundraising and planning a facility, perhaps coming up with an architectural engineering design, etc. So that virtual tour that you just took really is what our dream is, what our vision is. Whether we can have a facility that has all the components that you saw in the video, we don't know yet. But Steve is right. I think it can be done without local tax dollars. In addition to corporate sponsorship, we're going to look for grants from the state and county. Hopefully they can assist us. They've been willing in other communities to assist in YMCA projects. So we're very optimistic, and we think it's a win-win situation for the residents and workers of Piscataway.
I think it's an important factor we have to reemphasize to the township residents that we're trying to minimize the tax dollars being used, and that's why we're actively seeking corporate sponsorship. And as a matter of fact, I know one of our first members is going to be the district manager for the Quick Check Corporation as one of the members of the ad hoc committee. And we're just starting out with seeking out corporate sponsorship.
Well, that's a good point, and Kevin listed a number of different groups that were involved. We should probably add that the Board of Education has a representative, and they're very interested in the project, and we want to work with them as well. And I think our corporate community is going to be very supportive. The one company that's been out front, and they've been out front in the past in supporting us, is Quick Check, and they have told us that they would participate. They would help us raise funds, and I feel pretty confident that when the members of our community as well as our corporate community, understand what we're doing, they're gonna get on board, because this is really a project for everybody in the community, not just for the youth or the seniors or the high school students, but everybody. There's going to be components in it for everybody, and I think that they're all going to get excited about it when they see that this is the kind of thing that we can build.
Yeah. I think it's also important. No, it's not just the residents in the town would benefit from it, but it's also people who work in town.
Sure.
And that's the whole idea of the carrot and stick with the corporations, that their employees would be able to use this facility as also. I personally don't have a problem naming a certain room after a company or whatever to take what it to get the building up. Many of towns have done that. The state's done it. The Continental Arena. You had the PNC Art Center, but those are just small things. But I think overall it's a step in the right direction. We do have some photos from your Hillsborough visit. Maybe if we can cue them up, if the staff wouldn't mind, in the back, if you have them ready to go.
I guess just to explain what they are. One of the things we did was that we took a trip to Hillsborough, because they built a similar kind of project that we're talking about, and we took some photos. Actually, I promised Bill Garrissey that I'd give him credit. Bill's he's in Hawaii, so I don't think he's getting our local show. But I promised him, he sends me email on a daily basis, I promised him he'd get credit. He took some excellent photos that show what Hillsborough did, and it shows all the different activities, and it shows what Kevin pointed out, is that on this given Saturday, you had senior citizens, you had young children, you had birthday parties, you had a swim meet going on, you had kids playing basketball, and they weren't all getting in each other's way. They were all blending in very nicely.
Yeah. Okay, if I guess at this point we'll go to the videotape.
There's our little group there, some of our group. You could see some of the children's toys out in the back. They had a little outdoor recreation area for the children. There's a lot of pictures of us, which is unnecessary. There's the gym. That's part of the fitness room. There's a few pictures of the weight room and fitness room that they had there. It's part of the locker room. I think this facility is about 5 years old, and it was built in a similar fashion, where the municipal body kind of got it going, and there were corporate funds from in town, and this was paid for, I think I believe it was paid entirely by private donations and corporate sponsorship. These are the different child care areas. They have daycare at all different levels. They have after-school programs they run there. I believe they told us all the artwork was done by the kids there. And there's the pool facility. Actually, it's important to point out, not only is it a swimming pool, but they had a jacuzzi, and they had a pool, that's the pool there, that was really designed for physical therapy. Excellent for senior citizens.
I think maybe we might bring in you might want to reiterate, Kevin, what the benefits for the senior community with something like this from the photos we just saw from the Hillsborough visit.
Well, obviously during the school year, when kids are in school, during the school day, the facility would be at its lowest peak use, so that be an ideal time to open it up for a lot of senior activities, whether it be computer workshops, computer classes in a technology center, or whether just swimming laps in the indoor pool. As Steve mentioned, possibly even doing some physical therapy that might even be prescribed by their physician for them to do in a therapy pool, do some light exercise, etc. When the weather's bad outside, seniors certainly are welcome to come inside and recreate inside. The other component that I think is critical is that it allows seniors to interact with young people, and I don't think we do enough of that in our communities today. We have programs for children, we have programs for seniors. A YMCA brings them all together where they can interact and learn what each other is doing, and learn to appreciate each other more and cooperate with each other more. But the real component that I like the most about the YMCA is it brings the entire community together. It truly is a community center. And when we were at the Hillsborough Y, the number of families that were coming in as families. In our society today, families don't have a lot of time together. You know, once in a while they may go on vacation together if they're fortunate to be able to afford that. The YMCA allows various types of memberships a membership that the father of the family may appreciate, or the mother of the family, and yet at the same time the children, so that they can all come to the Y at the same time and do different things in a safe, supervised environment.
Well, the thought you brought up about having vacations, my vacations are at my house.
Yeah.
But go ahead, Steve.
You could walk there. Actually, that was an excellent point. It did give you one example. There was a woman who worked there, and another component of this is that we think we can create a number of jobs for folks in the community, because we want to make this a real community center. But the woman worked there, and she said that she came together with her family. She went to work. Her husband took their 3 kids to the Y. One of the kids was older. He went off and did something on his own, and the other 2 were with the father. And it was a really good example of what Kevin is describing, and of the whole community there together. Literally, there's a computer lab where you've got children and seniors working on computers next to each other and sharing their own knowledge and experience, and that's something that's good for the community.
Well, there's no doubt with that. And I want to remind our viewers the number is 732-562-2305. Our subject this evening is about the possibility of building a YMCA here in Piscataway Township. And we asked if anybody of our viewers would like to call in and have questions about that. My guest also here is our Recreation Director Kevin Donovan and Councilman Kahn, who's a member, both who are members of the ad hoc committee, along with Councilman Mark Levitt. At this point, I don't know if we're ready to go to a break. I guess not. The staff, I want to make some note of funny why they were showing a virtual reality tour on the set here. The staff was doing the thing from the Village People, the YMCA, so I thought that was a little lighthearted staff there, and everybody's laughing on the set though. But I think that the important part is that we have to remember that no matter what happens, we have to do something about our existing pool. There's a shelf life left of a couple of more years. It's at the end of its lifespan. So the question is, as township officials, do we go ahead and use tax dollars to renovate an existing pool, which probably we would have to gut all together, or do we try to go through the model of a public-private partnership of not just a pool, but something more than that, as Mr. Donovan had mentioned? And I think, by and large, most of the people would agree with that. But we do have a caller, and that we'll take before we go to our break. And I believe it's on line 1. Welcome to High on Piscataway.
Mr. Mayor, how are you tonight?
Very good.
Mr. Donovan, Mr. Kahn, how are you? You look a little taller. You must be sitting on your wallet. Hey, I think this YMCA is just a smokescreen to make up for the inadequate job that you've been doing as mayor. You haven't fulfilled any of your campaign pledges. You brought in 1,400 new homes into this town.
Mr. Halper,
three major tax.
Mr. Halper, do you have a question about the YMCA? Or?
No, where are you going to locate the YMCA?
Well, it was probably more
located in the 4th Ward to make up for the riding academy and the pumpkin rides. That just away from
Mr. Halper has Mr. Halper has he actually asks a good question. Steve, do you want to?
Sure, and I guess we have. I don't know, there's always going to be somebody against a good idea, and I'm not surprised he's against it necessarily, but he did ask a good question in that conversation, is where are we looking to locate it? We have the municipal pool located on Hose Lane, and we own about 10 acres of land right there. We would like to renovate and have a nice outdoor pool as part of this project. We believe that that's the ideal location. We've looked at some other sites. It's still not something definitive, but locating it next to the library, close to the high school, and within walking distance from the senior complex is probably the ideal spot for it. And I believe that's where I think everybody on our committee is going to recommend that that's where we look into locating it. It'll really be right in the center of our town, essentially, where all of the different organizations and everybody can get access to it immediately.
Well, I just want to digress a little bit with one of the comments that the caller mentioned about as a smokescreen. I think it's ironic that the caller, Mr. Halper, I just want to let for our viewership know that, speaking about a smokescreen, just saying it's got as a farm there, I just want to let them know for the record, their affidavits before the Department of Environmental Protection in the state of New Jersey do not classify that land as a farm, but as a garbage hauling facility, cart haulers. So just for the record, I just want to let the folks know what the story is there.
Well, I like Mr. Halper. I think I find him
He's
to
a
be,
character.
I find him to be entertaining, and Mr. Halper knows that. We've had a lot of good conversations, but he's against most everything.
Which is his choice as an American. So, but with that, we do have another caller on line 2. Welcome to Eye on Piscataway. Mrs. Simmons?
Yes, hi there.
How you doing? What can we do for you?
Well, I had a question. I wondered if why in New Brunswick closed.
That's a good question, Mrs. Simmons. I don't know what the exact answer. I remember it when I was growing up that there was a Y, and I also know there's a Metuchen Y also, and I don't know. I don't know what the dynamics were, to be honest with you.
Mm-hmm. I guess that would have no bearing on our Y, but I just wondered what happened there.
No, it wouldn't have any bearing. Is maybe Councilman Kahn could explain.
I'm not sure I know the exact history, but I don't think that they had the same kind of community support. In order for there to be a YMCA, and we're really talking about a community center YMCA, part public, part private, you really need to have community support. And I imagine that they didn't have that support. In most of the other communities around here, Metuchen, Edison, in Woodbridge, in Hillsborough, there's tremendous community support. And I think we'd have that kind of support here in our town.
Like anything else, Mrs. Simmons, I think it's a fair assumption to say that, unless there's support out there, any type of facility would not last long if you're not going to have people patronizing it and promoting it. And,
right. You feel we would have that support.
Yes. From what we're seeing from the other Ys, it depends upon the individual towns. Obviously some towns shouldn't have a Y because maybe there's not support out there for it. But the towns like the Woodbridge, the Edisons, the Metuchens, and the Hillsborough townships right there, and I think Bridgewater too, have been very successful in their facilities that they have there. And it has a lot to do with the private partnership of the YMCA chapters being run very professionally and making sure, it is a business in a way because you do have costs involved, and that's the name of the game. Provide services for the least amount of costs, but yet a facility that the residents can enjoy and use all the amenities that are there available to them.
I'm sure Kevin can tell us that we run a tremendous amount of recreation programs in our town now, and they're crowded. We could use more space and more facilities just based upon what we run in town now.
I hope that answered your question, Mrs.
At one point, I remember there was discussion of a pool in the high school. Has that been changed now?
No, there is a referendum if and when they have the referendum date. The referendum's bifurcated. Part of it's towards the school construction, and then there's a separate section of the referendum towards just specifically on whether the high school will have a pool there. Obviously, you'll have a say in it, as many of the residents can, and they can go out and vote up or down on the referendum or that aspect of it. But with or without the pool issue, we as a municipality, the municipal government, our local pool that on the corner of Hose Lane and Park Avenue is at the end of its shelf life. And I think the thinking by many of the people within the community and the governmental leaders is to try to basically have a public-private partnership of not just building another pool, but something more than a pool, having a community center where everybody can use the facility.
Well, it would be good then if we could do away with the high school pool. Then that certainly was going to jack up our taxes. If we could look at it from that viewpoint.
Yeah, well, if you want to look at that's a possibility viewpoint. You can look at it, and obviously everybody has a right to go whichever way. But we're trying to what we're back to trying to promote is to try to get corporate sponsorship to build this facility like it's been done in other towns. It can be done. We have a very good corporate base here in the town. So I'm very optimistic that we're going to have a lot of involvement, and there's been a lot of pledges by some of the companies in town to actively get involved once we get things underway.
Because we've been very generous to people in this community. We've enlarged the library. and the senior center there is we have a big place there that was all added on to our taxes. I just hope that we're going to keep in mind that we're not all millionaires over here.
Well, I have to, Mrs. Simmons, I do have to run to a break in the show, but I want to add about the addition to the Senior Citizen Center. Part of that was paid for through private donations, a large chunk of it, more than half of it. So we've been very responsible and seeking out public. And like Sterling Village was built through part private donations and through part of the municipal government. So we've done quite well for a municipality in that respect.
Okay,
so,
good luck, Brian.
Okay, thank you, Mrs. Simmons.
Bye-bye.
You have a good week.
Thank you.
Bye. Okay, with that, the staff is waving their arms. We have to go to a break.
I am an American.
I'm an American.
I am an American.
I'm an American.
I am 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 an American.
I'm an American.
I am an American.
I
am an American.
I am an American.
I am an American.
I am American.
I am America.
I'm an American.
I'm an American.
I'm an American.
I am an American.
I am an American.
I'm an American.
I am an American.
I am an American.
Maria?
Yeah?
Some things on TV scare Elmo.
If some things on TV make you or you feel sad or scared, tell a grown-up that's close to you.
Like you, Maria.
Yes, like me.
Young, who got some good minutes in the first half, hits the jumper. Tiffany Young, a junior from Hillsboro, Alabama, has 4. Young, 17th footer's got it. And Tiffany Young with a sensational performance.
This is the hand that sows the seed, that grows the forest, that drinks from the stream, that hugs the mountain, that gives shape to the wind, that carries the kite, that is flown by the child, that is loved by the woman, that toils at the job, that gives to Earthshare, that supports the hand, that sows the seed.
All life is woven together. How can we choose which environmental cause to support? Earthshare, the workplace giving program, makes it simple by bringing the leading environmental groups together under one umbrella. Support Earthshare, and you support them all, including the hands that sow the seeds and protect the forests and the streams and the children. To learn more, please visit our website.
It's my birthday. Oh, it's so pretty. Oh, I told you, don't be bringing that weak stuff in here. Yeah. Who's the man? Who's the man?
Exercised lately? Tarzan, Lord of the Jungle, King of the Apes, father of boy. He knows what it takes to be a dad. You go for a ride, you take a swim, you hang out. All it takes is time. Hey, it doesn't take a hero, but it takes a man to be a dad.
tools needed to rebuild lives after a disaster aren't always hammers and nails. The tools needed to give warmth to the homeless don't always come from a store. When lives need rebuilding, the Salvation Army knows it takes tools that come from the heart. Donate online or call 1-800-SALARMY.
Introducing the all-new Enclave. It's a minivan to the max, with features like remote control sliding rear doors, 150 cable channels, a full sky view roof, temperature-controlled cup holders, and the 6-point navigation system. It's the minivan for families on the go. What is a hero? Are heroes born, or are they made? In after-school programs, your kids will uncover hidden strengths, discover they have the power to change their future, and find the hero inside themselves. Let us know you on after-school programs in your area. Call 1-800-USA-LEARN. After-school programs, helping kids find the hero within.
Welcome back to Eye on Piscataway. The number is 732-562-2305. My guests this evening are Recreation Director Kevin Donovan and Councilman Steve Kahn. And we do have another guest here, and I'll explain who this young lady is in a few minutes. But we're going to go to our monthly announcements, so just bear with us for a few minutes. The first announcement is February is Black History Month throughout the United States, and Piscataway has declared February 20th African American Seniors Day. The center will hold their 8th annual program titled The Color Line Revisited, Is Racism Dead? From 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. at the center. During the month of February, the Multicultural Exposition exhibit in the Municipal Gallery, sponsored by the Cultural Arts Commission, will have artists representing Asian Indian art, Chinese art, Hungarian handcrafts, and art, African American art, and Indo Eskimo art. Okay, the exhibit can be viewed Monday through Friday, 8:30 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. Also, plan to have a real country breakfast on Sunday, February 10th, at the VFW 7504. That's on 501 Sydney Road. Breakfast will be served from 8 a.m. to 12 noon. Also, Piscataway celebrates Founders Day on Sunday, February 10th from 1:30 to 3:30 in the Municipal Building. Dr. Rebecca Yemen, an archaeologist involved in the recent excavation that has been taking place for the last few years on River Road, will be the guest speaker. Dr. Yemen will discuss life as it was in Raritan Landing, a thriving colonial hamlet along the Raritan River. And also, the free program is coordinated by our Township Historical Advisory Commission and the Historical Heritage Society. Also, Piscataway resident Viola Sanders will present a free lecture and visual exhibit on African American inventors and inventions on Monday, February 25th at our very own JFK Library from 7 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. For more information, call 908-463-87. Well, strike that. That should be 732-463-8719. Also, a reminder to the residents that the Department of Public Works winter hours are in effect till March 5th. Winter hours are Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, 1 p.m. to 3:30 p.m., Thursday, 1 to 6 p.m., and Saturday, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. The recycling center is always closed on Mondays. If you need a dump permit and can't get there during the week, the DPW will open on Saturday, March 9th from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. Also, Christmas trees will no longer be accepted at our firehouses. Please bring them to the recycling center. And please do not leave them at the curb. They will not be picked up by DPW. And for more information about the Department of Public Works, contact 732-562-2390. Township offices will be closed on Tuesday, February 12th, Lincoln's birthday, and Monday, February 18th for George Washington's birthday. Another matter here, the mayor's office is still compiling a list of residents who might be in need of immediate assistance in the event of an emergency. If you or someone you know should be added to the list, call the mayor's office at 732-562-2301. We also have other activities in February at the Mettler Bodine House Museum at 1281 River Road. This includes the Brown Bag Lecture Series on February 13th, the Acoustic Cafe on February 15th, and on February 23rd, Judas Kroll Russo will discuss food and libation of the presidents. For a list of all other museum upcoming activities, call 732-463-8363. On March 2nd, the Cultural Arts Commission will hold its annual Gospel Gala Dance Concert featuring the Acro Dance Theater Company. The program starts at 7 p.m. and will be held in the Piscataway High School Patton Building. Admission is free. The snow date will be March 9th. You might want to mark your calendars for the upcoming St. Patrick's Day dinner dance on March 9th from 7 p.m. to 11 p.m. at the American Legion Post 261, which will be serving corned beef and cabbage dinner complete with homemade soda bread. To reserve a space or for more information, call 732-752-9756. And remember, the next Eye on Piscataway, the Mayor's Live call-in show, will be on Monday, March 4th. Channel 71. Eye on Piscataway is replayed during the month on Mondays at 8 p.m., Fridays and Sundays at 7 p.m. We also have a reminder for our residents on February 16th of this month from 2 to 9 p.m. We have your annual fire district elections. They're at your respective firehouses over in District 1. It's at Newmarket Hose on Washington Avenue. And District 2, which comprises of Holmes Marshall, Possumtown, and River Road Fire Company, I will believe be changed from the Commissioner's Building to the River Road Fire Company. You can double check that. They're just right across the street from either one. District 3, Arbor Hose, and District 4 at North Stelton Firehouse. And remember, on Saturday from 2 to 9 on February 16th for our Fire Commissioner races. We also have a short video clip from the recent anniversary of Sterling Village, 10th anniversary, if the staff will go to the videotape, so to speak. I came across an article from the Piscataway Denellen Review dated March 13, 1980, and the headline says, "Senior Housing Being Pursued." And it was an article about a lot of the people about Bill Quick talking about his goal of having a senior housing. And I thought it was quite ironic that I came across this article. Here we are at the 10th anniversary of the construction of the senior housing. And here we are with this newspaper article is like almost 22 years old. So it just goes to show that if you're very persistent in your dreams, that ultimately they will come true someday. For many of the people, residents here, it has been a wonderful place to live and enjoy your lives. And I think a lot of that credit goes to Carmen Quick's husband, Bill Quick.
35 years ago, a man named William Quick was then the mayor of Piscataway and encouraged and investigated and pursued options for affordable housing. The housing today is known as Piscataway Sterling Village, Piscataway's own senior residence. We're very proud of this as a community. We're very fortunate to have the wonderful people that we had pioneer Sterling Village, because Sterling Village, as we all know, we didn't use a covered wagon, but sometimes it felt like we did, getting things through the rains and the snows that we had the first few years that we were there. But we all persevered, and I'm very proud to say that I was part of it, along with the administration. If I didn't have their support, we wouldn't be where we are today. But it's through the dedication and commitment and the sacrifice of the residents who trusted us enough to say, okay, I'm going to move in there because I have confidence that this community is going to provide me with a beautiful place to live that I'm going to age gracefully in. So I think we've achieved that. Our future hope is to continue to pursue that and make your lives more wonderful than what it is. And I'm proud to be part of a very progressive team. So I thank you for your support now and in the future.
Put Rosa in the lead, meaning she's going to get us around these 10.
Well, it's just I had a wonderful time over at that event. What the staff, the PCTV members didn't do, thank God for me, is that they didn't show when I was up doing the hokey pokey. So luckily for me, that dropped to the videotape floor on that one. They did me a favor on that in the back studio there. But that's a wonderful program, the Senior Center in Sterling Village, but that'll be a subject at another time. But more importantly, with the remaining 5 or 6 minutes we do have somebody who just walked in off the street, but who we've met on several occasions. Her name is Melanie Roth. And Melanie, you might want to explain a little bit about yourself and the organization that you work for.
Okay, I'm a consultant for the YMCA of the USA, and I have the privilege and fun of consulting with YMCAs here in New Jersey. There are actually 43 YMCAs in the state of New Jersey, and it's my job to help them be the best that they can be. So I help them with strategic planning or salary administration, or if they're looking to expand their building, program memberships, those types of things are my responsibility. And it's a lot of fun working with the volunteers and the staff.
Steve, did you have a question for Melanie? Or?
Well, I know we've met a few times, and Melanie has given us some really good advice. One of the callers had a question. This really wasn't a question, but essentially I think what she was getting at is why would Piscataway be a successful community for a YMCA? And I think perhaps you've got some good experience, and you know a little bit about our community now. What can you tell the viewers about what we could do here in our town?
Well, first of all, just having the desire to have a YMCA is really important. And then assessing the needs of the community. What is it the community wants that the YMCA can provide? And when we put those things together along with a lot of volunteers and people who really care and are willing to work to make this happen, it's really the formula for success.
Isn't it true, Melanie, that the board of directors of the local Y would be made up of individuals from the Piscataway community?
Exactly. Actually, the YMCA is owned by the community. It's not owned by a group of individuals. A YMCA is a nonprofit organization. And so the leadership of the Y would actually come from a group of volunteers who would be made up of a board of managers, or if you were a part of another YMCA, if you would be a branch of another Y, then it would be a board of managers. And as a board of managers, you would still be determining what the needs of this community are, the types of programs that would be offered, the membership structure, the services that would be provided by the YMCA. All of that direction really comes from grassroots, from the local people.
And each town has their own individual identity, obviously, and that's what the Y works towards.
Right. And that's really the strength of the YMCA, because we don't just have a cookie cutter that we go in and set the same type of building in every community. The success of the YMCA is that it provides for the needs of each particular community, and the volunteers determine what those needs are.
One of the things that I found to be exciting, and you gave us some good information on that, is that the YMCA works in partnerships with, say, recreation departments or boards of education, which is the model that we'd like to follow. Perhaps you can explain to the viewers how they've done that in other communities successfully.
Oh, that's a great model to follow, because the more collaboration you have, actually, the more successful you're going to be. Because we really do believe that when you bring more people together, you're going to be even better. But there are many different ways to work with a municipality or with a school district, such as sharing facilities. You can share staff, you can coordinate programs, and instead of competing against one another, you actually work together and you enhance what each other can do.
Great. Well, I think that's going to be an ongoing discussion item. I know we're going to be discussing it soon, and I know the ad hoc committee is going to be formalizing, recommending something to myself and the township governing body very shortly. And hopefully, Melanie, you'll be able to be a part of this. And I know we have less than a minute and a half ago. Steve, do you want to, 30 seconds, we'll give you the floor for that?
Sure. I'm very excited about it. I want to thank Melanie for coming by tonight. We've met with her on a number of occasions. It was just an idea we had of building a community center and building it with the YMCA, and she really gave us the opportunity, showed us how to do it. And we're really at the beginning, but it's an exciting beginning, and I think the ultimate goal is that we're going to really be able to develop something for the community we can all share in and be proud of.
Okay, Kevin, did you have something you want?
I think the YMCA its time has come in Piscataway. we really do need a community center, a place where people, all different age groups and all different types of people living in our community, and even people who work in our community, where they can come together at one central location and do so many things that right now they can't do in our community because they don't have access to this facility or that facility. I think that this project will fill that void and really be the cherry on top of the cake, so to speak, for the facilities that we already have in the community.
Okay, Melanie, you have about 10 seconds.
Just want to close with what the YMCA does is we build strong kids, strong families, and strong communities.
Okay, and with that, I'd like to let the residents know that we'll be hearing more about the YMCA discussion in Piscataway Township. And our very own, we know that February 2nd was Groundhog Day. We have our own groundhog here in Piscataway by the Department of Public Works Yard, Piscataway Phil, and he also confirmed what Puxatawny Phil said, 6 more weeks of winter, and with that, and hopefully no snow and plowing and all those good things. And I want to wish everybody another happy February and look forward to see you back in March. Thank you and see you then.